Welcome back. In our last lesson, we solved systems of equations with three unknowns using both substitution and elimination. In this lesson, we're going to look at a real-world system of equations, and we're going to solve it using substitution. Seth has one less than twice the number of compact discs that Jason has. Raul has 53 more compact discs than Jason has. If Seth gives Jason 25 CDs, Seth and Jason will have the same number of CDs. How many CDs did each of the three boys have to begin with? Okay, so let's break this problem into small chunks. The first thing we need to do is we need to write some algebraic equations. So I need a variable to represent each of the three boys in this equation. So I think the easiest thing to do is to use the first initial of their names. So let's let the number of CDs that Seth have equal S, Jason's CDs equal J, and Raul's CDs equal R. Now we need to write an equation for each one of the sentences that they give us. Seth has one less. Well, one less means we're subtracting one from something. One less than twice the number of compact discs that Jason has. Okay, so Seth has, that means S equals twice the number of Jason has minus 1. So S equals 2J minus 1. Now we have Raul has, okay, so R equals 53 more. So we're adding 53 to something. 53 more than Jason's CDs. Okay, so R equals J plus 53. Now let's move to the next one. If Seth gives Jason 25 CDs, okay, so we're taking the number that Seth has and we're subtracting 25 because he's giving them away. So S minus 25, and he's giving them to Jason, so Jason's getting 25 more, so that'll be J plus 25. Then Seth and Jason will have the same number of CDs. Okay, so S minus 25 equals J plus 25. Now, how many CDs did each of the three boys have to begin with? So now we need to solve this system and find out the number of CDs each boy started with. So we'll try to figure out where we need to begin. So in this equation, I have S and J. In this equation, I have R and J. And in this equation, I have S and J. So let's start with the equations that have the same variables, the S and the J. Since this equation is already solved for S, I could use what S equals in this equation in order to solve for J. So what we can do is we can replace the S in the third equation with what S equals in this first equation, since they're equivalent. Now, my new equation only has the variable J, so I can solve this equation for J. So we're going to simplify by adding together -1 and -25. Then I'm going to add 26 to both sides of the equation and subtract J from both sides. So we now have figured out the number of CDs that Jason has. Jason started with 51 CDs. Now that we know the number of CDs Jason has, we can use this in the first and second equation because they both involve the number of CDs Jason has, and we can solve for S and R. So in the first equation, I'm going to substitute in 51 for J, multiply 2 times 51, then subtract 1, and Seth has 101 CDs to start. We can go on to the second equation, substitute 51 to J, add 53 plus 51, and Raul has 104 CDs. So we've now discovered that Seth has 101, Jason has 51, and Raul has 104. Our last step is always to check. So let's check to make sure these numbers work in that third equation. So I'm going to replace the S with 101, and I'm going to replace the J with 51, and simplify, and we get a true statement. So that means the answer is Seth has 101 CDs, Jason has 51 CDs, and Raul has 104 CDs. And that's the only example that I have for you today. I hope everybody is doing well, that you're able to keep up with the work that I'm posting. Let me know if you're having any issues. You can drop into one of my live video times. I'm available in the morning from 10 to 10:30, and then again from 3:30 to 4. And you can always send me an email if you would like, and I'll try to respond as quickly as I can. Stay positive.